All right, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? We're only gonna have 2 streams this week because I'm going out of town on Wednesday and I won't be back until Sunday. So, yeah. So we're gonna do a stream today and tomorrow. Now I am going to get set up here on my chat phone. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So today we are just going to be doing the edges on the parts that we've already sewn. There's some stuff that I haven't touched yet, so I would like to do that first. Okay. So I'm going to do the first little bit of sanding off camera. This is just loud. It's on the big sander. So I'm going to just do that real quick. And then we can go on past that. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do just an initial Talcanol burnish on here. I'm going to switch you over to the other camera so that you can see. Oh, hello, new viewer. We are working on edges on this briefcase. Opa! Oh, let me get you switched over here. There, you're switched over. Yeah, we're doing edges today. So you can see the briefcase we've been working on. And we're going to just do a little bit of burnishing. So, this is just a burnishing agent. It's called Tolkanol. Oh, you can't even see me, can you? Yeah, it's just a burnishing agent. It's called Tolkanol. It's just going to get a really nice, smooth feel on here, and then we're going to sand and burnish and sand and burnish and sand and burnish until we get a nice glossy finish. Now, since this is mostly veg tan, it's gonna burnish really easily. And what you want is you want to hear the clicking noise . So I don't know if you can hear that. What's up, Squatch Zone? Okay, so that feels pretty good. I don't know if we're gonna I don't know if we are going to take it super far, just based on my experience with the God, what is it called? The shoulder pad. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay. I think I might just do this standing up, just because it's such a big. Good morning, Squatch Zone. What's up? Embrace your space. Yeah, this is going good. I'm not going to be able to finish it this week because I had to order more thread, and I already know the thread's not going to get here until until next week. So hopefully we'll be able to finish it next week. I have enough thread to sew one side, but I don't have enough thread to sew the other, unfortunately. Okay. So we are going to hit it with a little bit of finish here. And we're going to start this process. So, can you see me? Okay, and then I'm going to just burnish with a rag. Okay, so it's feeling good, feeling good. We're gonna get sandpaper. We're gonna start doing this. Got the whole stack here. We're gonna just go one by one. And I'm going to just do it like this. Okay, and then I'm going to just brush it down, get any little particles off. And then we are going to go ahead and apply a layer of finish. And notice I'm trying to only sand in one direction, as to not make the fibers of the leather like stick up, because we're trying to go for an extremely smooth and extremely shiny finish. on the edge. So we're trying to just go in one direction. Now I'm buffing in both directions, but I don't think it won't like mess with anything nearly as much as the sanding will. So even now this is starting to get a really nice finish, and I've barely even started. Okay, so I mean, it already feels really smooth. Has a nice shine to it. We're just gonna move up in the grit. And I'm really just trying to get, like, fog the finish. Because after a certain point, you're going to be more so just developing and buffing the finish with the sandpaper. The body is just straight vegetable tan that I dyed black. So it is Herman Oak 4 to 5 ounce, and it's just like they're like tooling leather or whatever. And I had a side left over from a big order that I did. And then I just dyed it and finished it. Okay. tell me, can you see the shine that's on there now? I don't know if you... I'm trying to show it off, but I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Yeah, I hope it lasts 100 years. My dream, honestly, for this bag would be someone buys it and it's like a family heirloom for that's like passed down in the generations, and maybe one day it ends up in a museum or something. I feel like that would be pretty awesome. So, you know, if you know anyone who wants a cool family heirloom, you know where to send them. So we're only up to 240, and it already is starting to feel really nice. I'm not going to get it completely 100% like glass because of the suede. With just veg tan, you can get that. So you're gonna always be able to feel a little bit of like fuzziness, let's say. But for the most part, they'll be pretty nice and smooth and and I'm going to see where we're at like 600 grit. Because I have the other edge to do as well, and then I've got the edges of the gussets to do. So I'm going to see, although taking it up to 5,000 grit would give the best result. Okay, it's already feeling really, really good. Okay. Oh yeah. The edges, I mean, it's just that little bit of extra, like, oomph to give that like clean feeling. So, you know, I could just burnish with Tolkanol and bevel and call it a day, and it would be up to scratch with like 90% of other leatherworkers. But I don't want to be 90%, you know? I want to be the 1%. And I think it just, especially nowadays where it is very trendy to have a mirror edge, it's just that extra little bit that makes people go, wow, you know? I'm thinking about starting a leatherworking podcast. And if I can convince my leatherworking friend to do it with me, or at least do some episodes with me, I think it'd be really cool, because I don't really see any podcasts for the leatherworker, especially the leatherworker who's starting their business or like running their business. I see a lot of business podcasts, but I've never seen something that's for like craft business owners. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Just talk about different kinds of leather, talk about different trends in the leatherworking space. Hoo-hoo, I'm starting to get that mirror. I don't think you can see it, but I can definitely see my skin color in the edge. It's cool. Well, thank you, Squatch Zone. You know, I've been going through it a little bit with the business. I mean, that's entrepreneurship, but you know, sometimes it's hard to have faith that like whatever, that your needs are going to be met, and you know, and that something's going to happen for you, and whatever, when you're doing a business. And now I think of what you said in that live that I watched, where you were going over your vision, and you talked about how in your vision Christ showed you how faith worked, where like you picked something that you want and it materializes, but there's like a veil between you and it. I remember you explaining that, and now anytime that I'm like worried, I try and just think of that and imagine that, and just remind myself that everything is possible through faith in the Lord. Faith can move mountains and part seas and split stones and call fire down, and so it should also be capable of helping me have a successful leatherworking business and pay the bills. I think we're gonna work this edge a little more. Let me Okay, so that's 400 grit. And we're going to see where we're at here in a second. At this point, I'm literally not even sanding anything. I'm just like re-burnishing with a slightly tougher cloth, essentially. Once you get past a certain level of sanding paper, all you're doing is just slightly fogging up the finish. Now this is the easy edge. The other edge is going to be a lot more work because it's not straight. Oh yeah, I can see the mirror edge here. Very, very nice and shiny. Okay, so we're going to actually go ahead and bevel this now. As always, just nice simple number 3 beveler. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I don't know where my stropping compound is, but I'm going to strop this, which is basically like sharpening it. 'Cause I haven't done it in a little bit. There's already a ton of stropping compound on here anyways, so. Hoppa. Okay. I'll make sure you're kind of in there. Shot. So I'm just making sure that this is in the shot effectively. Let me see. Okay, it is. It is. Cute. Woo! You gotta love. You gotta love a freshly stropped blade. So if you think back to how difficult it was to bevel the suede when we did the shoulder pad, look at how easily I just beveled that suede. That's just because I have nice tools. Like I have good quality tools that I always keep sharpened and I take care of them. And I mean, you can basically, you don't have, what's funny about leatherwork, and I think this is true with every craft, if you just get like some good quality tools and you just take really good care of them, you can drastically improve the quality of your work without having to like really improve your skills all that much just by using good quality tools. In a dream, I was fighting the demons, and the last demon came to Earth in a comet or meteor-looking thing. I just found out at this solar eclipse, everyone, well, the devil comet. I didn't think the meteor comet thing meant much, but now I'm leaning towards something really bad coming with this eclipse. Cool brass hardware I'm seeing there. Ha, thanks. Yeah, I mean, even with the cheap tools, if you keep them stropped with the bevelers, if you keep them like I've got this one. This is a really cheap one that I use on my on like really thick pieces. Technically, I should probably be using it on this and the belts, but I just keep this really well stropped, and it never gives me any problems. Even though it's a definitely not good quality steel or anything. Same thing with my groover and my French beveler. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Tolkanol and the burnisher here for a second. I might also need to take a little break and go upstairs and grab something from the fridge to eat, because I'm pretty hungry. I'm going to make myself something after this, but... Okay, so I want to see if you can... Yeah, you can see it. Squatch zone, is that eclipse happening at the beginning or end of April? April 8th. Damn. So next week. Well, you know what? Maybe if you're right, my troubles won't really be that relevant in like 2 weeks. I'm very curious to see what happens. Like, part of me kind of hopes you're right. Part of me also hopes that you're not right. Because, like, while it'd be great for, you know, Jesus to come back this summer and then, you know, we're all just chilling in heaven for 7 years while shit goes down. And then maybe running a business would be really easy afterwards. Like, that'd be sick, but also, you know, that requires the end, basically the end of the world as we know it. So I don't know if that's really a very good trade-off for those who don't believe. Because that's going to suck for the people who don't believe. You see, I like that you hope you're wrong, because that actually gives more merit to you as someone who's talking about this stuff. Because someone who's just trying to get like the views and like trying to sensationalize things would not hope that they're wrong. You know, which just goes to show that you're genuine and that you, like, it gives more merit to what you're saying. So, last night there was a quarter lunar eclipse, and the full moon we have right now is called the worm moon. Why is it the worm moon? What does that mean? You just can't make this shit up. I mean, yeah, to be honest, there's a lot of signs now. I try not to think about it too much because it's like, what the fuck can I do besides just keep being the best human that I can be to the best of my ability? But there's a scary number of signs, of like revelation signs nowadays, and I know there's people in every generation that are like, oh, it's going to be the end of the world. Blah, 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 blah. But, so like I'm trying not to think about it too much, but still, you know, biblical signs are interesting to me, like ancient civilizations are interesting to me, and so I can't, it's like a fun, if nothing else, it's a fun thought experiment to look at the signs that are showing up. Oh, sorry, I just kicked the camera. You're going to get a little jostle. Oh, actually, I got to show you something that I added off camera. I think there must be a better way to hold this thing. I added a little like tag, like I was talking about in the last live that I did. I added just a little tag. I was trying to figure out where to hang it, and I found out that these little spaces in between the rivets are a great place to hang it, because it's out of the way from like any functional areas, but it's still kind of visible. So I think it looks pretty cool, like kind of tied on there with some lace. Oh, that's cool, Squatch Zone. January was the wolf moon. I'm not very knowledgeable about the lunar cycles or anything. It's very interesting to me, but I haven't really taken the time to do like the research. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's a better way to hold this piece up. I'm going to try and have it in, you're going to get a little jostle here, sorry. I'm going to try and have it in this stitching horse. See if I can get it to be like sticking straight up. What? Okay. Cherokee blood, huh? All right, I'm gonna have to look at my frickin' family tree again. Okay. All right. So we're kind of stuck straight up and down now. Let me... Oh, I already have you raised up, huh? Okay. I'm going to do a little... Oh, you know what? Actually, okay, I'm going to put you on the work table. Because we got this mixed up. Or we got this, like, changed up how we're viewing it. So I'm actually going to raise you down on the tripod. Oh, sorry. That was pretty aggressive. Okay. Can you guys see that good? Well, that's good to know. My wife was more, though. I'm just a quarter. She's almost half. That's cool. Okay, can you guys see this good, or... Looks like you can. Okay. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. All right, the phone is okay. We're all good. We had a little fall. We had a little fall. I don't know how that happened. Okay, sorry, we're getting this just set up right. I'm just switching over to the OBS so that I can just see it in real time, see what it looks like. Okay. All right. OBKB. We back. Now, this one I'm not going to go in one direction with the 180 grit, because this is actually going to take off a little bit of material, and there are some areas on this where I need to take off a little bit of material. So let me just start. But once I'm done with this one, and I've got it smooth like I want it, then we'll just be going back and forth. And I just realized we're actually going to have to go a little further than the stitch line, because this top portion is going to be visible, and you're going to be able to feel it because it's kind of going to go like over it. So think about that. Okay, so I'm just taking extra time on this one. Just feeling for any crevasses. Any crevices, any canyons in the edge before we move on. And it doesn't... Okay, so I've just made an executive decision. When I have it like this, we're just going to touch these three parts right here, and then I will put it back on the table flat, and I'll hit the edges on the sides. It's going to be a lot more simple to deal with. You're going to be able to see it better. Okay, yeah. And so now I need to decide which side I want to go. And there's usually one side that puts the fibers down and another side that picks them up. And it feels like going this way kind of brings them down. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And we are going to go ahead and hit the edges on the sides with the brush for this layer so I don't forget it later. Just trying to get as much like fuzzing, as much of like the dust and little particles off before I throw the first layer of finish on. Okay. Nice thing about using one of these foam brushes for this is that this soaks up this finish really well to where I've only had to dip this once for the other end, and I'm only going to have to dip it once for this end. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh no, you just fell out of your chair. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're looking good already. It feels really, really good. I could be all fancy for the camera and wear a pair of gloves. Like, I see some guys on Instagram doing that, and it makes it look like, oh, this thing's so fine and so valuable that I can't touch it with my bare hands. But would it be really that authentic? No, because it doesn't make a difference whether you're wearing gloves or not. Unless you're using a really, 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 really waxy leather. Then you will get fingerprints on it. However, you can just take a horsehair brush and just buff it, and it becomes literally perfect right away. So, some guys will use like cloth gloves, like these kind of gloves, or like white ones or whatever, and they'll make it look much more whatever. And I guess more power to them if that's working for them to boost their sales, but I mean, it does look better on camera, I will admit. I would say I'm a pretty decent leather worker. But I'm like a very mediocre videographer. And so, you know, I think that's where a lot of my trouble comes in. Is that some guys are much better at making videos than I am, like literally just the technicals of using a camera and setting up shots and having lighting and whatever. And so I end up not being able to showcase my work quite as well as they can. I don't know what just got me on that thought process, but so I just got to work on that, I guess. Because, I mean, I know my work is good because when people see it in person, they tell me it's good and that they really, really like it. So it's just about giving people who see it online the same experience as the people who see it in person. And that's, I think, probably been my biggest struggle in this journey. It's been just getting the eyeballs on my work. I focused a lot on improving my skills, but I still don't have the eyeballs necessary to like really, really sell. So it's feeling good. See, there's some new stuff in chat. Oh no, there's not. Okay. Okay. So we're up to 240. I think I got to replace these strips of sandpaper soon. I'll be damned. That's 37 views. Huh. Yeah, I feel like live streams get more views on average than videos do. Because like my videos usually get maybe 15 views within the first 24 or 48 hours. But then these freaking live streams just get so many views so quickly. But then obviously the issue is that they don't stay around for the whole stream. But that's okay. The old typo gets you every time. So like one of the guys I follow on Instagram just showed off his camera rig, and the guy is literally using cinema cameras, like cameras they use in the movie industry to film his stuff. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Because like his stuff's so nice and crisp, and he gets like, I mean he was a photographer and videographer by trade before, and an electrician before he got into leather work, so he had like the background skills to work a camera. But like, man, a frickin' cinema camera, he's pretty incredible. But yeah, I'm trying to not compare myself to others. After all, comparison is the theft of joy, or is the thief of joy. How are we doing on battery life? Oofta. Okay. Oh, and my charger's not down here. I'm trying to be real on these live streams. So I know a lot of, like, I think a lot of people just try and put their, like, their idea of, or like what they think people want to see. They just try and put that forward on social media, and they don't want to like be vulnerable at all online. You know, they just want to show the highlights. But for me, you know, I try and just be vulnerable on here and be authentic, and if something's bothering me, I'm going to talk about it. I think especially in like the leatherworking space, I don't see a lot of people, you know, really talking about all the stuff people don't see, which I think they should. They should talk more about that, because, like, I know for me, you know, if there's a leatherworker that has 1 million subscribers on YouTube and like 1 million followers on Instagram, I would want that person to share, you know, what's their daily life like? How much, like, how many hours do they spend in the shop? What, you know, what is all the stuff that we're not seeing that they're doing to grow their business? Or like, what did they do to get to that point, you know? But like, I don't see anyone in the leatherworking space talking about that. Okay, we're getting up to 320 grit. Ha! Make sure you use a fancy cologne too. Yeah, I think a lot of people are starved of like realness. Let's say. I think a lot of people they don't know how to be real, or like they don't know how to be vulnerable, or you know, they don't have anyone in their life who's willing to be vulnerable or willing to be around them when they're vulnerable. And so a lot of people really starved for someone who's just everything's on the table, nothing to hide, nothing, you know, not going to put up this like false identity on the internet that makes me look like I'm fucking rolling in the dough and rolling in the orders and whatever. Like, I'm just going to show I'm going to show it how it is. And I think that people need that nowadays. This day and age, my generation is like the least connected generation, I think, in terms of like human to human. We're the most connected in terms of technology, but we're the least connected in terms of human to human. I would say Rumble would probably be a good place. I originally considered getting onto Rumble, but streamed to X and Instagram as well. Yeah, I was streaming to Instagram and no one was really watching. Like, I was streaming to Instagram and YouTube at the same time, and I was only getting YouTube viewers, so I decided, like, whatever, I'll just stream to YouTube. I think doing Rumble would be good. I could probably set it up to do Rumble at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But then I have to deal with 2 chats, and that's kind of I've done that before. It just adds another layer to everything. I'm getting like super, super hungry, so I might have to end this here pretty soon, because I'm going to make myself something to eat. I'm already basically maxing out my capability for producing content by doing these lives 5 days a week, and I'm also posting once a day on Instagram. So like if there was a way to, I wish I could effectively post on every single platform out there and not get burnout really quickly or just like lose track of things. But I know that if I really try and max out the amount of platforms I have access to, I know I'm just going to get like burned out in like 2 weeks. And I know that because I've done that before, where I posted like 8 times a day for like 2 weeks and I fucking 5x'd my YouTube channel, but I couldn't keep it up. 5x'd my YouTube channel. I grew a bunch on, I was posting on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest. Like every day, twice a day, or 3 times a day, or whatever it was. And I grew a shit ton, but I couldn't keep it up. And I mean, now you have tools that where like you can take long form content and automatically clip it up. It doesn't work quite as well for like this kind of visual content. It works well for like podcasts and things like that, but it doesn't really work that well for stuff where the whole frame needs to be and like it doesn't really look at the visual. It just listens for like interesting bits that the person is saying, so it doesn't really work well for craft videos. Because I feel like it almost always gets visually boring clips. Now, one day it'd be great to have someone who does all the, clipping and all the posting and everything for me so that I don't even have to deal with it. And I can just like do Instagram stories and YouTube lives and everything else is taken care of. But not there yet. So I can feel little bits here, but I think that's going to get beveled out when I bevel both sides, so I'm not super worried. Ooh. Ooh, this feels so nice. All right. I'm going to lay this flat now, and we're going to bevel both sides. And I think I'm going to call it a day because I'm starting to get like a little nauseous from how hungry I am. So I need to go eat something. It's so hit or miss on what will get views. I know a few content creators with huge channels and most of their videos don't get a lot of views. So they do as you do and just keep a steady flow of content. Yeah, I was actually just talking about this earlier today with someone. By default, a person should easily get 100,000 subs out of millions of people. There will be easily thousands of people that identify with you. Yeah, I mean, I think the first 1,000 is the most grindy, and after that it starts to really pick up speed. I've definitely seen huge growth from, hold on. So I've definitely seen huge growth from just doing these lives. Especially in the watch hours. Because, like, you know, Squatch, for you, you watch this entire live, and you've just given me an hour and a half. Like, so 1.5 watch hours. And that's really big. Because, you know, you gotta, like, collect, like, I don't know what it is. I think it's like 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Or, and that's for, like, the full monetizing, and then beyond that, then you get a bunch of other stuff. But then, in order to, like, you get, like, a midway point at 500 subscribers. If you get 3,000 watch hours, then you're able to do stuff with live streams. Like, you can, your audience can send you super chats, which is like a paid chat or whatever, and it shows up on my screen big, and I can read it, whatever, and then, like, I can do, like, a member program, whatever. But those watch hours are super hard to accumulate. But I've seen that definitely growing a lot more with the lives, and I definitely think I like doing the lives a lot more. Just because it feels like I almost don't have a camera on, because I'm not worried about making it super fancy and super polished like a video would, where, like, I'm trying to not breathe super loud. I'm trying to, you know, I got to make sure everything is perfect. I got to make sure the lighting is perfect, and it just makes one little project really, really, really long. Whereas with the lives, I can just turn it on and I can just hang out and go, you know? And I think it's a lot nicer. The guy I started doing live streaming with is totally fake on camera. He does what he thinks will be appealing and wants to transcend a TV. I think he thinks TV is where it's at. Yeah, TV is definitely not where it's at. The horror stories I've heard, TV, it's on its way out, and he should really be putting his best to online. Yeah. The horror stories I've heard of like, what hosts have to deal with on TV is ridiculous. And I definitely think that this like, imagine 20 years ago, imagine the idea of someone just with no connections in the TV industry or the movie industry being able to stream, being able to do, like, live broadcasts for free on, like, to potentially millions of people. That would have been unheard of. Like, the amount of things that you can do with a tiny, tiny little bit of money versus what you have to spend for bandwidth on TV, as I understand it, is, I mean, it's definitely clear that this is the way to go. Okay, we're gonna get moved around here, and I'm gonna bevel this front area, and then I think we're gonna call it a day for today, because your boy Nikola needs to eat something. I am very, very hungry. So I'm just, oh yeah, we lost. We lost a few people. Okay. Oh man, it just... When you have a buttery smooth bevel, ooh. There is nothing better. I may need to pull out the big guns here for this. I'm going to feel these edges here in a second. Oh no, this is good. Okay. Yeah, this is good. All right. Oh, I didn't change the... I didn't change the camera back, so you just missed the beveling. That's my bad. That's my bad. But yeah, I beveled. Let's see. I'm going to be uploading content from YouTube to Rumble. It won't be live, but people will still be interested. Unfortunately, the content will be interested in the content. I think you mistyped there. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be uploading content. There are a lot of videos in YouTube where YouTube helps to understand how they work. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna finish it here. Actually, that's a good idea. I should re-upload all of my content to Rumble and see how it does. I have all my videos saved. Thank you. So I've got all my videos, all my edited videos saved on a hard drive. I never delete them. So I think I've got I've got a Rumble channel. I just never upload on it. So I think it could be cool to try and re-upload all my stuff on Rumble. Who knows? Maybe it blows up. Who knows? Okay. I'm going to end it off here. It's good to hang out with you guys. This is looking really, really good. We are going to... The next time you see us working on this, we're going to sew the gussets on. Yeah, it is definitely another way for people to find the content. Yeah, so next time we work on this, which will be next week, we're gonna sew the gussets on and then do the edges, and then we're done with this. And hopefully I find someone who wants to buy it. Yeah, that'll be the day. Tomorrow I'm going to do a little side project. with my mic setup, it came with this little, like, tiny little felt pouch to hold everything in, and it's just not big enough for everything. So I'm going to use some of this red leather. I'm going to use some of this red leather to make a little clutch bag with a zipper, and it's going to hold everything. And I think I'm going to line it in this. I think I'm going to line it in this waxed canvas I have from Weaver. So I think that'll be cool. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and may you all be blessed in every area of your life. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and forever, and unto the age of ages. Amen. Peace.